Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney, and today is Friday, May 13th. Yes, it is Friday the 13th, so make sure you cross your fingers, avoid walking under any ladders, and don't step on any cracks in the sidewalk today. Thank you for being here for the top stories from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. On 3 News Now, this is where we bring you the stories that matter most to you here in Northeast Ohio. These are the stories that you are reading, sharing, and clicking on our website and on our app. And we start with a big story here in Cleveland. If you're familiar with Lolly the Trolley, it is closing up shop and will be leaving Cleveland. Operating in Cleveland since 1985, they are officially closing the doors. The owners are Cheryl Paul Witt and Peter Paul, and they are very sad to say that after a 2-year hiatus because of COVID-19, they are shutting down due to not only the hiatus but also other factors. And if you are familiar with Lolly the Trolley, it would be seen all around Cleveland, giving people tours, sharing the colorful history of the city, looking around and predicting sometimes with a wink what might happen in the future here in Cleveland. But unfortunately, that will not be happening anymore after 37 years. You know, they've done all kinds of things. They've done lots of field trips. You might remember that from when you were young. Special events, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, holiday lights rides, all kinds of stuff. So Cheryl told 3 News that the company from day one has been always about the people that were hired from all walks of life who had a passion for Cleveland. And over the years, it was a talented, loyal, and enthusiastic family of employees that helped carry the mission forward, which was to provide a fun, educational experience and in the process change people's opinions about Cleveland. You know, they were here in the early days before Cleveland had a bit of a resurgence. They said they'll always be proud of what they did to help Cleveland become the dynamic city that it is today. And it does sadden them to end this wonderful 37-year love affair with trolley tours and with Cleveland. They said it's time, though, to move on to the next adventure. So we'll definitely be paying tribute to Lolly the Trolley. You'll see that coming soon. Now, yesterday, if you remember, we were talking about the Lake County Clerk of Courts, Faith Andrews, and how she's in the middle of a legal battle right now with her employer in Lake County because the judges had entered an order that barred her from coming to work all but 1 day a month because she's been accused of verbally abusing employees, mocking elected officials, and really creating dysfunction that is threatening the operation of the Common Pleas Court in Lake County. Well, our 3 News investigator, Mark Namick, got a hold of her legal bill so far. Here's the thing. Normally, the county prosecutor represents public officials, but the prosecutor cannot represent Faith Andrews, the clerk, in this case involving judges, because that creates a conflict of interest. So, oh, by the way, Andrews not a fan of Lake County prosecutor Chuck Colson anyway. She publicly criticized him at a Columbus meeting with clerks of courts from around Ohio. But in any case, in April, the prosecutor's office, citing that conflict of interest, asked county commissioners to hire the law firm Porter Wright. That was a firm chosen by Faith Andrews. So working on the case is one of the partners, Edmund Searby, and senior associate Kevin Kelly, former Cleveland City Council president. They told the commissioners during the April 7th meeting that they hope to resolve the dispute as efficiently as possible and then bill taxpayers more than $2,000 for that appearance and a related phone call and work that day. And in total so far, the invoice for the area, a total bill of almost $34,000 for the first month of representation for Faith Andrews. That is a lot of money, folks. That is a lot of money. Andrews did not respond Thursday to a call to her phone, and as of today, there is nothing on the court docket that seems to suggest that the two sides are heading to an efficient resolution. She is being represented in this complaint that she filed in the Ohio Supreme Court, saying that she is being prevented from doing her job as an elected official because of this order to only be in there 1 day per month. In other news about lots of money and things that are not necessarily going off without a hitch, Elon Musk's Twitter deal might be temporarily on hold. That's a planned $44 billion purchase of Twitter. And this is because of pending details about spam and fake accounts. So Elon Musk tweeted an article by Reuters speculating about the plan being put on hold and seemingly confirming it by sharing the tweet. So in the tweet, the billionaire said that the deal was on hold pending details supporting calculations that spam and fake accounts represent less than 5% of Twitter users. Not clear if Musk is now reconsidering the deal, because he did publicly declare he's buying Twitter to fix a problem that apparently is not a problem. One of his selling points to the public when it came to him potentially buying Twitter was that he wanted to fight off the use of fake spam accounts on the platform, and these pop up in these high traffic search topics and controversial issues. But just because they're popping up in those searchable issues doesn't mean there's actually a lot of them. You know that there are some bots on Twitter that do stoke controversial flames. They've been accused of being run by Russian state-sponsored actors and causing polarization ahead of the 2016 election. But sometimes they're just a nuisance, and they're selling things or linking to things, and just a hassle. So we don't yet know quite what's going on there, but Musk did seemingly confirm that the planned buyout is on hold at this time. Lots of stuff going on there, especially with Twitter firing 2 of his top managers on Thursday. Now here in Northeast Ohio, here's another big money deal, and this one is on the good news side of things. Cleveland Clinic has revealed plans today for $1.3 billion in capital investments. That includes a new 1 million square foot Neurological Institute that's being built on the main campus. Also, the expansion of the Cole Eye Institute building and research facilities. This is through a commitment to the Cleveland Innovation District. And officials say this will add more than 7,500 direct jobs and another 2,000 indirect jobs. So we have a breakdown of the plans on WKYC.com and our WKYC app. You can check that out. Now, sticking in the medical world, we have our Boss Ladies of CLE series. This is a series that's worked on by Sarah Shookman, who you know, and producer behind the scenes Jessica Miller. And it stemmed from a book by Maggie Sullivan, who is the author of Boss Ladies of CLE. So here's a quote from that. A boss lady is somebody who boldly chooses her own direction. She gets stuff done. She often strays from the conventional path and blazes her own trail. She often works towards a higher purpose outside of her own personal success. So this week's Boss Ladies of CLE feature is Dr. Robyn Strosaker. She understands that it takes a lot to run a hospital, and pretty soon she'll be running 3 of them, because earlier this month she was named president and COO of University Hospital's Lake Health Medical Centers. That will happen in June. Now, previously she was COO at UH Cleveland Medical Center, and she's been at that organization her entire career since interning out of medical school. She says it's been a privilege to be part of that leadership team. She's very proud of the care delivered there, and she'll miss those amazing colleagues, but looking forward to support the UH mission in that new role at UH Lake. In 22 years with University Hospital, she has continued as a practicing pediatrician and become a hospital administrator, and she says she does love that job right now, and that she feels like she can touch lots and lots of people and make care better for lots of people every day. And seeing patients in the office, though, that really is what fills her soul. So for more on her story, head to WKYC.com. Now, back to Twitter, sort of, for some trolling of a different kind. The Los Angeles Chargers, in their NFL schedule release video, took a shot at a lot of opponents, one of them being, apparently, the Cleveland Browns, and it seemed to be tied to the issues with Deshaun Watson. So yesterday, it was a big deal. At 8 p.m., the 32 NFL teams released their 2022 NFL schedules. You saw it all over social media. If you missed it, I tweeted a thread that has all of their videos, except for 2 teams. It didn't seem like the Steelers or the Titans made a video, but anyway, the Chargers made a video, and it was anime-inspired. And they were poking fun at their opponents. You know, they depicted the Las Vegas Raiders as pirates and the Kansas City Chiefs as Titans. But when it came to the Cleveland Browns, who the Chargers will be playing in Week 5, what they put up was a screen that said, "Redacted on advice of our lawyers." And then they had Japanese text that actually translated to "Cleveland is boring." But the reference to legal advice seems to be what people are saying is them taking a shot at Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson, who we all know is facing 22 civil lawsuits for alleged sexual misconduct with women. Now, we do know that there have been 2 grand juries now that have chosen not to pursue charges against Watson. We don't know the outcome of these civil lawsuits, but that wasn't the only Ohio-based sort of shot taken by the Chargers. They also took a shot at Urban Meyer, it seemed, because their Week 4 opponent, the Jacksonville Jaguars, were represented by a cartoon jaguar that was leaning against something and wearing the outfit in a similar pose to what Urban Meyer was wearing in that video that we all saw of him with a woman who was not his wife, who he was very close to. So lots of shade being thrown by the Chargers, and people are talking about it online. People are also talking about the Cleveland Browns schedule for 2022, so we do have that up. That's up on WKYC.com. And yes, speaking of the Panthers, those will be the Week 1 opponent for the Browns on the road in Carolina before coming home for the home opener against the New York Jets. Some of the highlights: a lot of 1 p.m. games for the Browns, a lot of conversation about that. The Browns' bye week will be Week 9, so about as smack dab in the middle of the season as you could get. You know, some things we always count on, of course. The Browns will be finishing the season in Pittsburgh against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So if you want to see that, it's close to the end of the season, of course, where we've got some of those back-to-back AFC North competitions, which could potentially be meaningful for the Browns. Week 14, the Browns will be on the road in Cincinnati against the Bengals, who had a shot at the Super Bowl this year. And Week 15 on the December 17th or 18th, that's not decided yet, home against the Ravens before playing 2 non-AFC North competitors before then coming back to the Steelers for the last week. So if you want to see that full rundown, that's on WKYC.com, and you can check that out. And I want to share a special highlight. We sent good vibes on this week's Good News show to Stark County and the people who are organizing the first ever Stark County Pride Festival. That's happening on June 11th in downtown Canton, and the theme of it is Queer in Canton, and it'll be at Centennial Plaza in downtown Canton. It's kind of hard to believe that this is Stark County's first ever Pride Festival. So glad that it's happening. Very happy to know that this will be happening in my hometown. Shout out to the 330, and congratulations to the people who are organizing that festival and celebrating the people that make Canton and everywhere so great. One more thing to tell you about before we go. You know, this is senior prank season, right? And sometimes senior pranks, not so nice. Not the case, though, in New Philadelphia, because the New Philadelphia School District shared this photo. We've got it on WKYC.com of their seniors paying respect to the crossing guard. And that crossing guard's name is Bobbi Dalpays. And in the photo, you see that all of the seniors brought the crossing guard a flower. And at the end, there's a big bucket of flowers and a big group of people celebrating that crossing guard for keeping them safe. And representatives from the district posted on Facebook that Bobbi is an asset to the district and that they're blessed to have her looking out for the safety of the students. They said, "Way to go, class of 2022. We are so proud of all you have accomplished." And it seems like they are pretty proud and appreciative of Bobbi Dalpays as well. You know, there is always that person in high school, in middle school, in junior high, wherever you are, elementary school, what have you, there's that person that kind of really strikes a chord with you. It sounds like Bobbi Dalpays, the crossing guard, really struck a chord with that entire senior class, evident by the fact that they made it a point to each of them bring her a flower and celebrate her before saying goodbye and heading off on their journeys. Just a really sweet moment. You're going to want to check out that photo. We've got it on WKYC.com. All right, that's it for your 3 News Now update today for Friday, May 13th. If you are the superstitious kind, be careful out there today, and have a great weekend. I'll see you back here on Monday with more 3 News Now.